Welcome to Magically Mindful, the podcast, where emotional alchemy, self-love, and soul remembrance collide. I am your host, Tesla, emotional alchemist, here to share my raw perspectives on growth, healing, and the journey back to your authentic self. Through soulful conversations and inspiring stories, this space holds the messy, the magical, and everything in between. Let's dive in. Elizabeth, welcome to Magically Mindful, the podcast. I'm so honored and excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me, babe.
So, Liz is one of my soul sisters and besties. We actually share a birthday. And if you know anything about Leos, when we found that out, we were pretty much floored, like jaw to the floor.
Oh my God, that was wild. I knew you were a Leo, but I had no idea we had the same month and birth date. That was wild.
Yeah. And we have, is it 8 years difference? Is that our age difference?
I'm 88. What year are you?
Yeah, I'm 96. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you want to share how we first got connected?
Yeah, so it was through an online community. We were both starting our business, being business entrepreneurs, and every time I would look at the Zoom calls, like your screen just would glow at me. And I'm like, there's just something about this girl. So it's like I knew, like honestly, your screen would just like there'd be like a little bit of like light every time, like it was trying to grab my attention.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just knew, but it took me a while for me to talk to you. But eventually I did. And yeah, I needed an accountability buddy for my business. And I was actually asking a lot of the babes if they wanted to be a part of this group so we can keep each other accountable with moving forward with our business, taking just grounded action steps and moving the needle forward. And out of all of them that I reached out to, like me and you, we still keep each other accountable with our business pursuits. So that is just so beautiful. And when we found out that we had the same birthday, because we had these accountability calls for, I believe, since March, and then our birthdays are in August.
Mhm.
So I knew you were a Leo, but had no idea that we were birthday twins. And you're the only
Yeah.
person I know that has my same birthday. And
Yeah.
that's when I knew, like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. And you're right, because so this was 20, I always get confused. Was it 2023 or 2024?
It was 2020. Oh gosh, when was it? 2023? No,
Yeah.
2024. It was
Wow.
2024.
Was it? Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't remember when I joined the community. Maybe I had joined November 2023. Maybe that's why I'm thinking that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, still to this day, we meet every week. And so it was so funny that so much time went by before we knew. But yeah, I'm just so grateful to have you in my life. And I mean, it was definitely synchronistic and just a matter of time, like divine timing as to when our paths would cross. Because, yeah, I also don't know anyone with the same birthday as us. And it's just been so amazing, like the connection and the friendship that we've built over time. And I have been mentioning you in the podcast and in my YouTube videos, just talking about the magical ceremony ritual that we did on New Year's Eve for 2025. So we have had the opportunity, fortunately, to also like be together in real life and not just online. But yeah. Mm.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that was so magical when we did our altar for New Year's Eve. And it was so beautiful to share that with someone because I would always just, for the last 3 years, I would stay home by myself to do an altar because I
Mhm.
had really strong intentions for the next year. And none of my friends would get it. Like, none of my friends who were like with nearby would get it. I was in Long Beach back then. They're like, okay, you're just staying home by yourself. Sure, we're gonna go out.
Yeah.
So I would stay home by myself, do altars, do a little ceremony, and then write my intentions for the new year. So to have someone get it like you were like, yeah, let's not go, let's just stay. Let's do it.
Yes. And I mean, we still got dressed up. It was a whole thing, like in true Leo fashion. We started the night in like comfier clothes, and then we went out to get ramen, which was so delicious. And then by the time we were ringing in the new year, after we smashed our plates, then we were all dressed up in our like literal dresses and just having such a ball. And yeah, it's just so, I love that we have like a 20-minute video of us just like enjoying the moment. Like, I don't know. I feel like if someone's listening or watching and they're like not a Leo, they're going to be like, what the hell? But I just feel like that says so much about like our astrology, honestly.
Yeah, totally. And I just remember it was so much fun. We like decorated and we were seeing so many angel numbers on the way to ramen. And yeah, it was just on the way back, just the 999. Remember that? The year of the nine.
Yeah. And there's been just such crazy things that have happened this year, I feel like, for both of us. Just lots of change and all good things, but just a lot. And I think we can accredit a lot of that to how intentional we were with bringing in or ringing in the new year, because we also then on New Year's Day, we spent like hours just journaling for reflecting on the past year and then like just setting intentions for this year.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh, it was so beautiful. Like I cannot describe how beautiful and magical it was to share with someone because it was beautiful and magical to just have that process for me and myself
Mm.
alone, but to share with you, it just made it like just so much more beautiful. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm so grateful we were able to do it together because I have never really shared something like that with someone before. So yeah, when you come together as well, it just like amplifies those intentions so much. And I also think this is a beautiful example of just, yeah, how we've been able to be such a big support for one another through this whole entrepreneurial journey. So I would love for you to share with my babes about your business and like you call it the goddess journey. Like I'd love to hear all
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. So I'm a spiritual empowerment coach for women. I love working with women, especially women who are spiritually conscious and curious.
Mm.
I love this is like my mission and my purpose to help you babes, to empower you, to just really coach you and remind you of your power. So
Mm.
that's what I do.
Yes, loving it. And how did you get to this point? Like, can you share your own personal journey and like I had said, the goddess journey that has, yeah, just led you to where you are today?
Yeah. So it started with my own journey, my own healing journey. I been through, I would say, hell and back, but I say that with so much love because without that journey, the goddess journey, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today or the goddess, because I believe every woman is a goddess, me, you,
Mm.
honestly, everyone. It's just that we're made to forget who we truly are, only so that we can remember. But yeah, it started with my own journey of really asking the deep questions. I was really soul searching. This was back in 2019. My whole world just fell apart. I broke up with my fiance, who I was with for over 10 years. We were about to get married, and I just couldn't marry him. I fell in love with someone else during that process of not being sure. My dad had passed away like 3 years before. And I was still grieving that as well. I was grieving his death. I was not okay with the way things happened within my family because he had another family with his first wife. So I was really angry. I was really bitter. I was depressed. I had anxiety. I was on medication. And I remember I would have these anxiety attacks like at night. It would always happen. I couldn't sleep. And I laugh about it now, but oh God, they were horrible. I couldn't sleep at night. I feel like that's when my subconscious just were turned on because I was so numb during the day. I remember with the medication, just living day to day, not really being fulfilled. And at night, I would ask these deep questions that wouldn't let me go to sleep. It'd be questions like, there must be more to life than this. Is this really who I am? And there's this just one that completely changed my life. Like, who is my authentic self? And that one, I don't know, it just like gave me chills when I heard that one for the first time because the way that voice sounded in my mind, it was so different than all the negative self-talk, than all the anger and all the bitterness, the voice that I was really familiar with, the inauthentic voice. So that just really made me question who I really was. And from there, I wanted to hear that voice again. I had no idea what that voice was, but it was such a beautiful, calming voice for me that I really, really liked it. So it kind of lured me into my spiritual awakening and my path. And that's when divine synchronicities started coming in. I started meditating. Ironically, I started meditating at work. I worked a 9 to 5. I worked at the city attorney's office in Los Angeles, and I started meditating there with my colleagues, and one thing led to another. I started connecting with my guides, and I thought I was going crazy for a while because I'm like, this can't be true. I have a really vivid imagination, but yeah, and when I started connecting with them, that's when the healing occurred because I had one of my deep, beautiful healings with one of my spirit guides. And yeah, that's when one thing led to another. And I met my healer. And yeah, it just answered the call to adventure. That's what I would call it. And became the woman that I am today. And I'm still growing and evolving. But now, because of that journey, I want to help women really step into their power and remember who they truly are and really just remember their own divinity. And I want to walk them through their own goddess journey because everyone thinks that, oh yeah, being a goddess is just so, I don't know, how can I say it? Like divine and beautiful, but it's not always pretty. Like you have to go through some real deep shit for you to become enlightened and to bring in the light and to become a goddess. So
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. It's so beautiful just how you articulate the journey. A question that popped into my head was just if someone might be listening and they're not familiar with like a spiritual awakening, because I mean, they probably are if they're listening to this podcast, but I would love like to know kind of how you would define what your spiritual awakening looked like, and also were you able to lean in? Because would you like, was there a bit of a shift for you? Like, were you open to it, or did it take some time to be more open to it?
no, not at all. And I talk all about this in my book. So I'm writing a book. It's already written. We're going to publish it. So I'm writing a book with my colleagues who are also healers and coaches. And yeah, no, that's why I'm saying it was divinely orchestrated for me because I was so closed off. I had no idea, Tesla. I had no idea about what being spiritual was. I just knew that once I started meditating, it started to feel really good. I started to talk to my guides, and it didn't make sense. But I just felt so much love and comfort from them, and I didn't feel alone at a time that I felt really lonely because I had broken up with my ex, and he was like my everything. And I went through this really nasty divorce stage with our mutual friends, and even my family didn't understand me. So I felt really lonely at that time. But just to know that I had my support team, my divine team with me, I never really felt alone. And they would send me messages, but I wouldn't listen.
Mhm.
Yeah, so when I contacted my healer, or when I got in touch with my healer, it was through Instagram, and we actually had a call, like it was a discovery call. And she told me about everything that she did. And I was naturally curious, but I had never invested in myself before. So it was hard for me to say yes. And I didn't know her and I didn't trust her. She was younger than me at the time. Well, she still is, but I just I didn't get it. And it took a lot of tarot cards between that time. I believe it was 3 months later. I said no. And then 3 months later, like my whole world just was falling even more apart and pushing me toward her to contact her. But I just didn't. I was resisting and I didn't want to. I didn't want to call her. So, yeah, but eventually I did. And
Mm.
the magic began, but I had no idea what a spiritual awakening was. I just knew that my soul, so interesting, my soul wanted to evolve and grow because I still had the same question, like, who is my authentic self? And that's what I brought to her coaching session. I told my healer, I want to know who my authentic self is. I want to show her to the world. And yeah, but I was pretty blindsided when it came to everything. I learned everything um until after. Like when I was in it, I had no idea what was happening to me. I was just following my intuition and my guidance and the signs. It wasn't until after I'm like, oh, that was my spiritual awakening.
Mm.
Yeah. So I would say like the way that I would describe a spiritual awakening is just remembrance, remembering who you truly are, because we're made to forget so we can remember.
Right. And knowing what you know now, and even that question of who your authentic self is, like, what would you say is the biggest difference from that version of you to now?
Yeah. Well, I was I was asleep back then. I was so conditioned to believe everything. I was just so miserable. Oh my gosh. And I'm just a different woman. Um, yeah. I am completely, oh my God, Tesla, if you would give me back. Oh gosh, no, yeah, I'm so different because I was in victim mentality a lot of the times. Things were happening to me, not for me. And I didn't really, I wouldn't trust myself to go after things that I wanted. I would need validation of others. And now knowing what I knew being a manifester in human design, it makes so much sense that I need validation from others because that's one of the shadows of being a manifester. You just don't truly trust your instinct to initiate. But yeah, I was not living for myself. I was living to make others happy. I was living by society norms or yeah. Uh, I was very, very inauthentic to myself and to my soul. I was working a job that I hated. I didn't even know I was not in love with my ex-fiance. Um, so I was just a very different person, but it wasn't until after when I started waking up and just remembering my own divinity and how things are happening for me and how I'm the creator of my own reality, things just really started to shift. And I would say meditation was one of the most beautiful tools that I have because it really cultivated that inner knowing and just really tapping into my intuition and gifts happen all through just being mindful.
Mm. Yeah. And I really appreciate you sharing all of that. What would you say if someone finds themselves in one of those, like in that sort of essence that you just described of like, even just like people pleasing or like seeking that validation, like what do you think is a way that they could start to kind of work away from that so that they can be more in alignment or even just being able to hear the whisper of their own intuition?
Yeah, I would say to really just be still. It takes some time to really tap into your own intuition, into your own voice, especially if you're not used to it. And the world is so loud, and everybody wants your attention, and everybody wants to influence you. Like, we live in these times, and with social media, it's so easy as well to get influence and just see and consume. But that's why I love to just come inward and just listen to your own self. For me, meditation is just my to go to. But there's people that like to do breath work. There's so many modalities in there, even dance or like a somatic practice, even drawing or just taking a walk in nature. But just really come back to yourself where you find that stillness and you can hear your own voice.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's so important. And I love what you said, like the world is so loud because it's so true. And I think a theme that we resonate a lot with is trust and surrender. So what does that mean for you and how has that showed up in your journey?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Trust and surrender. Yeah, that's like our mantra.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. Yeah, it really is answering the call. I feel like answering the call to adventure, like in the goddess path and in the goddess journey, there comes a point where you have to answer the call because life, your soul is leading you toward a path. And even though it's unknown, you have to answer the call. And when you answer the call, there's no way for you to know like what is expected, what's going to happen. But that's also the beauty of it, right? Like being on an adventure, it's exciting.
Mhm.
So yeah, like trust and surrender through the entire process, knowing that you're going to be divinely guided because we all are. We're all divinely guided and protected by our guides. We have a team of beautiful, beautiful souls and entities that are here to guide us and protect us. And they know the path of your soul and they're here to guide you through it. So surrendering to that, surrendering to your path is one of the most beautiful things that one can do, especially in this lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a moment that, like, as an example that you could share of when you were able to trust and surrender and then some of the magic that ensued because of it?
Yes. Yeah. So quitting my job, when was it last year? 2024, and going to Mexico. I've Yeah, I worked with my healer for I believe it was 3 to 4 years on and off since 2020. And every time when I would wake up in the mornings, I would dream about, starting my own spiritual coaching business. And I really want to quit my 9 to 5. And I was trying to think of ways that I can do it. And then in the morning when I would wake up, I would hear like, go to Mexico, go to Mexico. And I didn't really understand it. Um, yeah, I didn't understand it, but I was like, go to Mexico. Like, how is that going to happen? Like, no, like, what? It didn't make sense. But eventually it did when I spoke to my mom and I'm like, like I really want to start this. I have to just follow my path and I have to follow my passion. And I knew that I had to quit. Like I want to quit. I want to go to, I don't know, Poly. I want to go to somewhere else that the cost of living is less expensive because I had some savings and I want to give this a go. And then that's when she's like, well, then why don't you just go to Mexico? You'll be living rent free. There's a house over there at grandma's and you'll be with family. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay, sure. And that's when I started making the plans. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that that was my path, that I had to go. And little did I know coming back, because it's been 10 months now, of how healing that journey was going to be for me and my ancestry. But that's definitely a story for another book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, uh, thank you for sharing that. And I've been like honored to witness the journey because like I mentioned earlier, like we meet every week. And so we are together even when we're traveling around. But do you have maybe one takeaway from your time in Mexico? And I know you'll be back, but from those
Mhm.
10 months, was there any big takeaway that you have?
Yeah, I would say, oh my God, it's just been such a beautiful experience connecting with my own culture and heritage. Because, well, living in LA, born and raised in LA, it's very influenced by Mexican culture, but still it's Mexican American culture, right? So it does have the American aspect to it. And I honestly thought all my life that's all it was. But living for the first time, and for my 35th birthday, I left.
Mhm.
I left. So that was my birthday present to myself. And oh my gosh, yeah, just really falling in love with opening my eyes that, oh, Mexico is just so rich in culture and passion and beauty and really just feeling at home. It has been so beautiful for me. I feel so connected to that land, especially Mexico City, in ways that I've never felt in any other city that I've traveled to thus far. And I've traveled to a lot. So for me to feel that connection and just that love, it's just so amazing. Like I know I've been there before. Like my soul knows it's home.
Mm. Yeah, so beautiful to experience that because you obviously felt the call, but then once you were there, it was beyond confirmed. Like, oh yeah, I'm meant to be here.
Yeah. And it's just so beautiful to be in the land that your ancestors lived in. And yeah, like also connecting with my ancestors before here, because they're the ones that pretty much guided me to
Mm.
Mexico as well. So it's just, it's been so beautiful. And knowing that I'm of Aztec heritage and lineage through my mom's side, like my great grandma from my mom's side, it's just, it's so divine.
And so healing. So
Yeah,
much was healed
so much.
during that time.
The cinnamon from our altar, it came through.
Yeah. Yes, it did. Yeah. That altar, we were just so intuitive with it. And then all the pieces, they just come together or yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you mentioned earlier that, yeah, you have a book coming out that you've collaborated with your colleagues on. I would love for you to share more on that and also like talk a little bit about your love for writing as well.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, babe. Yeah, I finished that book in Mexico City, and I couldn't have picked a better city because that city and me, I swear it's seducing me, and I'm like falling in love with it.
Yes.
But yeah, the book it's a collaboration between me and 7 other of my colleagues who are coaches and healers. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece of what really sparked our healing journey and why we became coaches and healers. So for me personally, it's really my story about my spiritual awakening, all the divine signs and synchronicities, some of them that which I talk to you about. And it really is just my heart and soul. Like, yeah, my last 4 years of being on this path, which is only the beginning. And I don't hide anything. I have my soul bare for everyone to see because I know that authenticity is one of my core values in my business. And if I don't know, like if I don't hold back, if this is really who I am, then that would inspire others to also be authentic and give them that courage to be seen for who they truly are, which is something so scary to do in this world because the first thing we think about is like, oh, what if they don't like me? What if they make fun of me? We don't want that rejection. But I have faith that when you do, or when I do, like the right people are going to gravitate toward me because I am being real and this is really who I am. I love writing because when I write, I feel like I channel like my divine essence, my divinity, and it's just it's such a and I love the process. It's like I just love
Mm.
the process,
Mm.
and just like another voice of wisdom comes through me. That's why I love it, and I feel just so connected with my higher self, my authentic self.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so proud of you and excited because I mean, when we were in the online community together, I feel like one of the first things I remember you shared with the group was wanting to write a book. And
Yeah,
now it's happening.
I know.
And I'll definitely share it with the community once it's officially out and published. But you just the way that you write, because you let me see one of the drafts of it, it's just, I mean, it's literally poetic. Like it just, there's some sort of magic. And like you said, I mean, you're channeling that divinity. And that's like such a perfect, beautiful example of being in flow state.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And I just tap in when I write. I don't know, I know for some people it's different, like they have to walk, but for me, it's just really staying still and
Mhm.
just allowing the downloads to come. But that book in particular is just so healing because it really is a testament of how much I've grown these last 5 years. And now I feel like I'm at a place where I'm far apart from that version of me now, where I can actually share it and be like, okay, like this is what I learned. These are my lessons. And now I just want to help other women who might be going through the same thing because it's not an easy path. Like I know because I walked it. It's not easy at all. And for babes who are currently in that path right now, I just want to know that I see you because and I am just so proud of you for walking this path and having the courage to go through like what your awakening is and remembering who you truly are.
Mhm.
Just want to let you know you're not alone.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. We are not alone. And I think it was just making me think of, because you post such amazing content for your business, So Vintage Rose. And I think, I mean, yeah, I feel like we resonate a lot because authenticity is so important to both of us. So we definitely don't shy away from sharing all of it. But I know you have, I don't know if it's one specific post or it's just sprinkled in them, but when you talk about like the version of you that people are seeing, but it's so beautiful and bright, but they didn't like they don't know all the behind the scenes or what it took to for you to be at this point now. Can you share a little bit more on that?
Yeah, no, it took a lot, and that's part of the goddess path. It's really being in the darkness, being at your lowest, feeling the whole world is falling apart. It's not easy. It's not easy. Like I said, I mentioned this in my book, but I was diagnosed with chronic depression disorder, and that was because it first originated when I was in high school. So I was like 14 or 15. And I had no idea that I was depressed back then. I thought it was a normal thing. I honestly thought that everybody would have, I thought that everybody felt this way. I didn't think that it was me. So I was thinking that people live like this, like just really, really just, gosh, very sad, very melancholy, very angry lives. And it wasn't until my dad passed away, gosh, years later, that was back in 2015. So imagine like all my life thinking this is normal, going to therapy for the first time, knowing that it's not normal for you to have these feelings, and then getting on medication, and then that numbing all the emotions. And it's just there was a lot of darkness in my life throughout, like, yeah, throughout my life. I would say the first 30 years of my life were completely dark for me. And that's until I met my healer and I started this journey. That's when the light started to come in. And that's when it felt so good returning back to my light, to my divinity, to my authenticity, because I knew intuitively, I knew. That's why that voice, like who really is my authentic self, like rang so deep with me during those nights of panic attacks, because I knew that that wasn't who I was. Like I just knew deep down. And it was like this little seed that I would describe it as a little seed that of consciousness that was planted. And without that little seed, I wouldn't be where I am today, because I wouldn't have done this soul searching. And also, the soul searching was not easy because it was really devastating. Like knowing that this is not who you are deep down, and being frustrated with, okay, then who the fuck am I? Like, what the hell? Like screaming at the universe, like, send me a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty at all. It was quite hard. It was quite challenging, but it was just so beautiful, just returning back to the light, and there wouldn't be any shadow without darkness. So
Hmm. Yeah, amen to that because I totally agree with you. Like, we can't have the light without the darkness. And so I really am just grateful that we're bringing light to that because I think people forget, honestly, just because it can't, like, spirituality. I think a misconception is that it is all love and light, but of course there's love and there's light, but there is like our shadow as well, like, and learning how to um like create cultivate that spaciousness so that there's room for both.
yeah, no, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of spiritual bypassing, and it's it's not the truth, because we live in a dual world. There has to be the darkness in order for there to be light. And that's what the path really is. It's really just knowing that there are aspects of you which you carry that you don't like to look at. And you're looking at them maybe for the first time, maybe you've been aware of these aspects already, and you're shining the light. And then when you shine the light, you can become the neutral observer and really ask yourself, is this really benefiting me to believe this? How can I change this? And from that awareness, you can choose a different path.
Mm. Yeah, that's beautiful. What would you say is a like a tool to help someone cultivate more compassion so that they can have that be in that place where they can just observe versus judge?
Yeah, I would say forgiveness. Forgiveness is such a huge tool, and I think that it's very underrated because a lot of people think that when they forgive, it makes it okay. It makes whatever the other person did to them okay. And it doesn't. What you're doing is what you are doing is you're just liberating yourself from that energy, from that cord, from that tie. And it takes a lot. I'm not saying it's easy. It takes a lot. But when you are aware of this dynamic, whatever it can be, and you you offer forgiveness to yourself first, which is the key. And then from there you can extend it. Doesn't make it okay. It's just you're just liberating yourself from that. Because there is a part of you in the dynamic that gave your power away, whatever it could be. So when you are aware of it, you can offer that compassion to yourself, forgive yourself, and then forgive the other person, individual, circumstance, whatever it is. And that's when you can really offer compassion. Also, it helps me to, everybody does things for a reason because they have needs. And some people are just not aware that they get these needs a certain way. They're just used to getting their needs sometimes and oftentimes selfishly. Like they just think about themselves. But when you really think about how humanity is, we all just want to be loved. So when you see others through those eyes of compassion, that everybody just, however they're acting, they just want to be loved and they want to feel safe, that kind of changes things also for me a little bit to be like, okay, this person is acting this foolish way, but I know deep, deep, deep down inside, that's probably the only way he or she can feel love or feel safe.
Mm.
Okay, then it's okay, even though it's not okay, but I can separate myself and I can offer compassion and separate that, like, okay, and have that compassion for them because they don't know any other way of getting that love.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful example of just your like the embodiment of everything that you've been on in your own journey because I'm sure you had to give your own self that compassion first and like you had mentioned that as well.
Yes, totally. Yeah. I had to forgive myself first and then offer that compassion primarily to the older version of me that didn't know how to deal with life. It's just no one teaches you how to live in this earth school.
Mm. Nope.
Yeah. But yeah, I had to really forgive that version of myself who thought that X, Y, and Z would give her this and love her completely for thinking that. And then I can go ahead and just be okay. I gave my power away in this situation. It's okay. I didn't know any better. I can forgive the other person or the circumstance. Like, and then at the end of the day, whatever you're going through or the people that are triggering you in your life, they're there to show you something. For me, a lot of the times I'm like, thank you. Thank you for showing me my power, or thank you for letting me know, oh shit, I've been giving my power away to you in this way. And it's empowering. Mm.
Yeah, that is extremely empowering because it's that shift from the victim mentality, like you had said, living in that for so many years. And I also resonate with that. Like it is funny because both of us, if we knew each other at in our past versions, like it would just be completely different people. But of course, like the core of who we are was always there. It's just that remembrance, which is so beautiful. But wow, it's crazy to reflect back on and just be like, so proud of how far, you've come, we've come. It's so beautiful.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because before I would think forgiveness would be so, I would feel so weak. Like I'm never going to forgive this person for this. No, they hurt me so bad. Come to find out 5 years later, that is like the thing that sets me free, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, those old versions of self. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I love her because I would not be who I am without those old versions of self. So sending her so much love, even
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because it's all like everything is just a stepping stone. And I'm curious to know, because I know for myself, I feel like I don't think I've regressed at all. Like I haven't, I don't know, but I know that everyone's so different. Like whatever they may be moving through, like if it's different, like feelings of anxiety or depression or anger, like if someone is finding themselves in like a cycle or a loop where they're like doing all this work on themselves, but they just keep getting pulled back down, what do you think would be like, how would you navigate that, or how have you navigated that for yourself so that you could continue to move forward?
No, yeah. Thank you so much for bringing this question up. It's such a good question. And yeah, first of all, like just notice anything that you get triggered by, it's for a reason. It's there so you won't repeat the pattern again. That pattern wants healing. That's why you're on the loop. And I know, like sometimes it can feel like, gosh, like why is this always happening to me? I'm going crazy. Like I wanted to stop. I wanted to stop. But no, but that's your soul telling you you need to heal this. And it's going to continue to be in that loop until you bring healing energy to it. So for whoever's been stuck in a loop or in a pattern, I would say just first of all, yay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We're celebrating it.
Yeah, let's celebrate it because you're aware of it, which is good. Not a lot of people are aware of it. I remember back in the day before my spiritual awakening, I would be stuck in these patterns and I thought it was normal. You know?
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. So the fact that someone's aware is huge because awareness is key for you to change something. But then really just sit with yourself. Like, what is this pattern teaching you? What is the main theme? What is happening? You have to really dissect the whole circumstance. Like, is it just with men? Is it just with family? You have to dissect all of it. And what is it truly telling you? Every pattern, every loop is an opportunity for growth. So I like to, whenever I'm in a loop or pattern, like, thank you. Thank you because you've made yourself aware. And thank you because I get the opportunity to heal this now. And then when
Mm.
you say that, when you offer gratitude toward it, the answers will just automatically come. And then
Mm.
you can step away from it and break the pattern and start something else. It's like you become embodied and it's like this new belief that comes in because that is not who you are. That's why spirit keeps on giving you the same circumstance. It wants you to heal from it. It wants you to remember who you truly are. It wants you to step into your power, reclaim your power, stand in your power.
Mm. Yeah, and I think it's a good reminder that like everything we need is already inside of us as well. Like all of, yeah, just like the I don't know, the answers that we seek, but I know you know this very well, that just working with your own healer and now being in a position where you are helping others, I'd love for you to share just how you work with women so that they can maybe even like not take as long as maybe we both had to individually to help heal our own selves, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. Yes, please do not take so long. It took me years.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, the number one thing I would say is, you know, because we as women, we're so intuitive. If you have that little seed inside of you that's telling you there must be more to life than this, or this is not really who I am, that is your authentic self, your higher self coming in through downloads and through those little feelings. So I would say, listen to that voice. And second, just be aware. Be aware of everything in your world. And don't look at it from a place of judgment. Be the neutral observer, because we're all creators of our reality. So, in what ways have I attracted this circumstance into my life? Or how am I giving my power away right now with everything going on? And when you start asking yourself those questions, that is a good time for you to maybe contact a coach, because then you can go deeper and be like, okay, what are my limiting beliefs in this aspect and or in this area of life? Or what am I working through over here? What can I not see? Like, I see my reality, obviously. I see what's in front of me, but a coach can really help you go deeper into seeing what's there subconsciously, because what's in your reality is a reflection of your inner world. And until you shine light into what your inner world is, then your outer world is going to remain the same. So I would say answering the call to really just go deep and to just be open. And like, again, like our mantra, surrender and trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it really is one of the most beautiful gifts that you can give yourself, your own personal development and self growth. I honestly, yeah, it's such a beautiful journey to really just come home and remember who you truly are and reclaim your power back from everything and everyone that has been taking it away. You stand more confident, more grounded, and you just shine your light for all to see. And you become this beautiful light that everybody wants to see. And we all do want to see you shine your light. So please, babes, let's continue shining.
Yes. And everything that you just shared, it's like you said it so beautifully, but that very essence and that embodiment, then when like life keeps lifing through all of this, but the way that you show up is so vastly different in this embodiment versus the victim mentality. And then you just see everything as like a beautiful blessing, miracle, gift.
Yeah. Remember that meme I showed with you?
Oh my gosh, so many good ones. Which one are you referencing?
The one with like, spiritual girls are the most resilient bitches I've ever met.
Yes. Yes. And this is exactly why. This is exactly why. And I just love our conversation because it's just a beautiful example of, yeah, it wasn't always easy. And there's going to be moments where, yeah, it's not easy and things are unknown, but just that shift of perception, like that the unknown can be exciting versus like something to fear. It just everything, the way that the cookie then crumbles is just so much better, I feel.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think one of the core elements of this, and with my own coaching practice is that I connect my clients to their spirit guides and to their divine team. So yeah, the unknown can be scary if you think you're going through it alone. But when you know you're fully supported and guided within the higher realms and they're walking the path with you, it's just makes it so much easier to trust and surrender to your divine path.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
totally agree. I know we could just talk for hours and
Yeah.
hours, but I think a fun way to close up our conversation, what is something that you are celebrating right now?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm celebrating so much. Um, yeah, well, being here in this podcast with you, first of all, thank you so much. I love you.
I love you.
Love you from the bottom of my heart. I'm celebrating that. This is so magical. And yeah, being back in LA after 10 months of being in Mexico and doing all the healing work that I did over there and coming back just as an empowered woman from that little vacation hiatus that I had no idea was going to unfold like that. But here we go, trusting and surrendering to the process.
Yes.
I'm also celebrating that. I'm celebrating my mom's birthday this week. And my dad, may he rest in peace. Yeah, so it's their birthday. I'm celebrating finishing the book. Yeah, and yeah, so many beautiful things to celebrate right now. Life is good. Life is yeah.
And I think when this episode comes out, it's actually the start of Leo season. So how divine. Didn't even plan that.
Leo season, Leo season, Leo season.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm so grateful to have had you so like on the podcast. So thank you for taking the time and just getting to share just our sacred connection and so that people can get to know you more. And I'm just so proud of you and so grateful for you and have so much love for you. I love you. And thank you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, babe. I'm like soaking it all in, but the feelings are so mutual. I honestly don't know where I would be without you in my life. And just having you, I always tell you this, having you in my life has been just such a light. You're such a light. You're just having you. So thank you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And thank you for sharing this beautiful life.
Yes.
Together.
Feelings are so mutual. So grateful. So much gratitude.
Yes.
If this episode brought you clarity, insight, or a moment of reflection, I'd love for you to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you share it on Instagram, tag me at magically.mindful so we can keep the conversation going. To stay updated on what's coming next, head to magicallymindful.ca. Thank you for listening and for choosing to honor your journey today.